Stefon Diggs gone. Josh Allen, the Bills' star quarterback, absolutely signed off on this. I was told a year ago that privately Josh Allen was getting frustrated with some of the drama. There is no proof you need a number one receiver, a dominant number one receiver to win a Super Bowl. You do need a good coach. You generally need a better than average offensive line and pass rush, and you need some weapons. But a star number one receiver, there's no proof. Chiefs didn't have it this year. Stefon Diggs is very good. 5 years in Minnesota and 4 with the Buffalo Bills, but a little drama in both places, and Kirk Cousins and Josh Allen win. That's the NFL. You keep the quarterback if he's B+ or above. The one position in the NFL that historically has given us some drama with personality just tends to be wide receiver. I've got my own theories why. Andre Rison, T.O., Randy Moss, Des Bryant, A.B. It's just that one position, but make no doubt about it, Stefon Diggs is excellent and was incredibly productive, first in the NFL in receiving yards since he has arrived there. He mattered. He was very valuable despite some turbulence in the last year and a half. He is a great fit for the Texans. I'll get to that in a second. But wide receivers in the NFL tend to be all about fit. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, buddies since college. Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, it's literally like they read each other's minds on routes. Julian Edelman and Tom Brady, highly detailed and precise players, were literally monsters year after year in the playoffs. But this is the thing with wide receivers, especially those that are outspoken in drama, they have an expiration date. Now, they're not like milk. They're not going to sour in a week. It can take years. And Stefon Diggs was highly productive, a player I like a lot in Minnesota, and highly productive. I think he's going to end his career in Houston and be really, really good with C.J. Stroud, the Texans. And here's the thing about the NFL. It's so crazy. If you get the quarterback right, C.J. Stroud, isn't it amazing how everything works? Every single move. Ooh, Joe Mixon, a run game. That'll work. Stefon Diggs, I like that. Every draft pick. Tank Dell, I knew that guy was going to be. That's what happens when you get the quarterback right. When you don't in Carolina, and a year and a half ago, Carolina, Houston were the same thing, a mess. A mess. Carolina's quarterback's not working so far. Nothing feels like it's right. In Houston, every move feels like it's working right. But here's my concerns if you're Buffalo. This is an offensive league now. Andy Reid, the greatest offensive coach arguably ever, and maybe the best coach ever, has rebuilt his offensive line twice in a year, rebuilt his receiving core more than once, and his defense. And they just keep getting to Super Bowls. Can Sean McDermott, a defensive coach, who has struggled to build a running game for 7 years, has struggled to consistently build an offensive line, can he now totally rebuild his receiving core in one draft? I have my doubts. Again, Andy Reid, Sean McVay, those guys rebuild receiving cores, rebuild run games, rebuild offensive lines in an offseason. Because the league now, it's all about elevating them. McVay, if he coached 20 years ago, Andy Reid did coach 20 years ago, the rules all worked against them. Now the defensive coaches have them all working against them. And I've had my doubts with Pete Carroll's last several offensive lines, Mike Tomlin's offensive line, Sean McDermott's offensive lines, Brandon Staley and the Chargers, it got worse. Can McDermott rebuild this wide receiving core? It's a good draft for receivers in 1 year. Because Baltimore looks like it'll be better. Kansas City's going nowhere. Miami's still good. Aaron Rodgers coming back. C.J. Stroud's now a star. Herbert has Jim Harbaugh. The AFC last year was an opening. Burrow hurt. Mahomes had a bad receiving core. Justin Herbert didn't have a capable coach. The AFC next year is going up. It's going to get better. The star quarterback's getting better. The star quarterback's healthy. I just don't know if Buffalo took advantage of that small window of weakness last year in the conference. Wish them well. They're not going to draft just one receiver. I'd expect two. So this is interesting. I am not a bearer of bad news, but I am America's honesty broker. I dubbed myself that. So Iowa LSU got 12 million people watched that game. That's about double what I thought would get it because it was on cable, not broadcast television, but it really touched the hearts of Americans. The game after it, UConn-USC, got 7 million, which is about 60% of the rating, but mostly driven by Caitlin Clark, gave them the greatest lead-in in the world. That's why networks for years and years and years and years, if they get a hit show and they want to introduce a new show, they put it after the hit show. So it beat the NBA Finals in 2023, Caitlin Clark did. It beat the 2023 World Series. It beat every college football regular season game except Michigan, Ohio State. But here's the thing. Women's college basketball also got 12 million viewers in 1983 because of another star, Cheryl Miller. And it lost all the ratings. It could never sustain it. The feel-good story, what I'm hearing, is women's basketball is now a power to be reckoned with. And I'm saying Ollie in boxing, Tiger in golf, MJ in the NBA. Don't be so sure. The product is significantly better now. That helps. That absolutely helps. LSU, Iowa, more than anything, damn good game. Good players, fast, fun, fluid. Wish the guys played like that. But this really is about two things to me. A superstar in Caitlin Clark, and they come along so rarely. A Serena, you're not going to replace her. Tiger, Ali, MJ. I could argue the NBA's never recovered from MJ. They lost 50% of the ratings. They've never gotten all of them. Not even close. That doesn't mean women's basketball isn't growing, isn't viable, and won't be around. But beyond Caitlin Clark, there's something else here that needs to be noted. America loves basketball. We love Olympic basketball. We love Caitlin Clark. We love March Madness, men's and women's. And we've loved individual NBA stars. MJ, Dr. J, Magic, Bird, Steph Curry, sometimes LeBron. The difference is Iowa and Caitlin Clark and the women in general have been very easy to like. This was 4 years in the making, right? You had the rival, you had Caitlin Clark, you have Kim Mulkey. 4 years in the making. This puppy baked. This thing's been in the oven for years, baking and baking and baking. And men's basketball is broken, and the NBA's system is broken. The NBA makes it hard to like. We want to like basketball. We love it. We love the Olympic teams. We wear Jordan shoes everywhere. We love Caitlin Clark. The men's ratings this year are good. But the NBA, with its arrogance, its load management, you take your kids to the game, and the stars aren't there. I went to a Celtics Bulls game in Chicago 2 weeks ago. The Celtics, for no other reason than the guys are tired, sat 3 of its 4 best players. Inexcusable for a Saturday night date night game. Inexcusable. Do that on Tuesday. Not a national TV game, not a Friday or Saturday night game, or a Sunday TV game. We want to like the NBA, and we have loved it and many of its players. But they make it hard, and Caitlin Clark and women's college basketball has made it easy. It's a rivalry. There's stability. It's a rematch. There's a little controversy. They're feisty, but they've always been respectful. LSU was always respectful of Iowa. Women have every right to chatter and trash talk, too. I think it's fun. That doesn't bother anybody that's reasonable. But I think it's a bit of a cautionary tale. The men's ratings this year, even though the quality isn't great, have been fantastic. The women are setting records. Yes, the product is better, but it's Caitlin Clark mostly. The Dream Team, the Olympians. NBA, are you watching? Are you listening? Suit up and play. Stop with the arrogance. Load management doesn't exist in any other sport. Baseball players sit out in that damn sun all summer long in the heat in Cincinnati, in Atlanta, in Houston, in St. Louis, and it's just nothing but heat. And they fight to get in the lineup. And NFL guys play hurt, and hockey guys play after fights and losing teeth. Caitlin Clark is great. Women's basketball's on fire, at least for now. But it does show you we want to watch basketball. We love basketball. We love its stars. And Caitlin Clark also provides something that virtually never happens in sport. She's the best player and the underdog. It's why we fell in love with Jordan. The Pistons and Celtics were better for years, and they beat Michael up. Michael was the best player, but he was treated like an underdog. And it was so easy to root for Michael Jordan.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.